This is the Christmas Eve, and I don't usually think a whole lot about Christ, except for maybe once or twice around these days, Christmas. But kind of sometimes reflect that he may have been a bit overrated, of course, in our minds or in the minds of some people, but also maybe a bit underrated by some of us who aren't particularly following a Christian tradition, and sometimes kind of dismissed for what he did bring into the world. We sometimes, he can be interpreted in many different ways as, a good person or a good human being, or other traditions, like I think in some of the Hindu traditions, maybe he was seen as an avatar of Vishnu, as the Buddha was also. So, different religions, different traditions have different ways of interpreting different beings. And at the least, he was an extraordinary person in many ways. And if you kind of ignore all the ways that his teachings have been convoluted and taken with, a lot of cultural appropriation and misinterpreted, if you looking beyond all of that, just to some of the historical evidence that he was a really, really kind, compassionate person. Whether he was the Messiah or not, who knows? But we can look at some of his extraordinary qualities, at least those that were attributed to him, like compassion and kindness, and learn a lot from that. I was kind of reflecting on that a little bit too, just the qualities of kindness and compassion, are part of our birthright if we attend to them. We do have to kind of turn our attention in that direction and develop many qualities to help support its emergence. But the potential is there, and it's a potential that's in much of nature that we see too. I was thinking, it was a couple of months ago that a few of us saw this deer with what looked like a broken front leg up on the hill and wandering around this area, basically hobbling along on three legs with its mother nearby, and kind of remarking and thinking, okay, well, he's a goner, as soon as some mountain lion or some other creature, or just by not being able to get around so well, as soon as that all happens, he's no longer for this world. But then I saw him or her just a few weeks ago, kind of still with mom, and doing a little better, putting some weight on that front leg, still quite hobbly, but but still here and growing in size. But still under kind of the surveillance, if not the protection of his mother. And just that sense of, there can be kindness and compassion in nature, that kind of protectiveness that, just as a mother protects with her life her only child. That quality is something we can look towards, that sense of kindness and compassion, and really trying to cultivate that with each other too. Here in the community is a time maybe that we can start to reflect on if we're holding any kind of grudges or even subtle kinds of judgments about people, and sometimes it kind of, if it's not overt in how we react to them, we sometimes are reserved or withhold our friendliness or our attention, and can kind of just ignore people that somehow have, that we've got a little something in the backs of our minds with. And sometimes it's hard to kind of let go of that and just open to the fact that we're all human beings, we all suffer, we're all struggling, and to just kind of realize that commonality and let that open the heart, and realize that all the suffering in the world isn't just focused here. It's all around us. And to have a sense of that impersonality of the suffering that helps us see a broader perspective of the people around us, that maybe can use our compassion as well, our kindness as well. That sense of self, if we let go of that, if we see through that, then that opens us to the sense that, oh, okay, it's not just me who's suffering, it's everybody, it's the suffering, not just my suffering. And that depersonalization takes a lot of the sting out of it. We're all in this lot together, really. And if we can see that, then maybe we can experience and act on that sense of kindness and compassion that to me is what personifies the image of Christ. So just offer that for this morning's reflection.